We've seen a lot of memorable moments this World Cup. Germany's exit in the group stage, Brazil's defeat against Croatia, Japan topping a group with Spain and Germany, but the most surprising story must have been Morocco making it to the semi-finals and becoming the first African country to do so, having only qualified 5 times prior and only reaching the round of 16 once made this achievement even more special. They topped the group of death and defeated both Spain and Portugal in the knockout stages, and all of that with conceding only 1 goal in the whole tournament. So let's break down how Morocco shocked the world and reached the semi-finals of the 2022 World Cup. But first, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. Before we break down their incredible tournament run, let's go back 3 months earlier. Just 3 months before the World Cup, on the 31st of August, Morocco sacked their national team coach, Vahid Halilhodžić, after months of tension between him and Football Federation over player selection and, in particular, his falling out with star midfielder Hakim Ziyech. Last year, Halilhodžić accused the Chelsea player of faking an injury to miss out on mid-year friendly matches and left him out of the World Cup qualifying campaign and the Africa Cup. But Federation President Fouzi Lekja had been pressing for a return of the Dutch-born midfielder amid a public outcry at his absence, putting him at odds with Halilhodžić, a risky decision, as for the past 3 years the team had gotten used to the playing style of Halilhodžić, and swapping him with a new manager while having nearly no preparation time before the World Cup could have turned out badly. Halilhodžić was replaced by Walid Regragui, a Moroccan coach who had just won the Moroccan League title with Wydad Athletic Club and reached the African Champions League final the season prior. So, with a new coach and the return of Hakim Ziyech, Morocco was heading to Qatar with little to no expectations, being drawn in the group of death with Belgium, number 2 on the FIFA World Ranking, Croatia, a World Cup finalist 4 years ago, and a very young and strong-looking Canada team. Morocco's first match against Croatia ended in a 0-0 draw. Despite Croatia having the bigger chances, the 0-0 could be seen as a fair result. Both teams still had chances to progress to the knockout stages. One player who really stood out was Sofiane Amrabat. The Moroccan midfielder of Fiorentina continuously acts as Morocco's connection between defence and attack at the ball. Sofiane Amrabat played all over the field during the opening game of the Atlas Lions. The next match day, this team really showed their class in a 2-0 victory against Belgium, with Hakim Ziyech and Romain Saïss dictating the midfield and their incredible defence keeping a clean sheet for the second match in a row. This victory wasn't a coincidence. In their last group game against Canada, which they won 2-1, Morocco finally conceded its first goal. An own goal, so technically nobody has yet scored against them. Again, the Moroccan side was praised for their defensive football. With a talented centre-back pairing of Wolves' Romain Saïss and West Ham United's Naïf Aguerd, and 2 world-class fullbacks with Achraf Hakimi and Noussair Mazraoui, who bring a lot defensively as well as offensively. Morocco topped their group unbeaten with 7 points, qualifying for the round of 16 for only the second time in their history. Next up was Spain, one of the favourites of the tournament. Spain dominated possession during the match, but Morocco's steady defence largely kept them at bay and limited clear-cut chances. We had agreed not to take possession. Not out of fear, we are humble enough to say that we are not yet France, Germany or England, to compete with them in terms of possession. Spain enjoyed more than 75% of possession and completed almost 1,000 passes, but weren't clinical enough to create a lot of chances. Even if Spain managed to break through their line, it wasn't easy enough to pass Yassine Bounou. The Moroccan goalkeeper saved his team an amount of times with some incredible saves. After a thrilling 120 minutes, the game was still 0-0 and went to penalties where Yassine Bounou proved himself once again as one of the best goalkeepers this tournament, saving 2 penalties in the shootout while Morocco scored them all. Morocco progressed to the quarter-finals for the first time in history and now had the chance to become the first African country to ever reach the last 4 of the World Cup. Up next was Portugal, who had just dropped a masterclass against Switzerland, defeating them 6-1. But Morocco, once again, reached new heights to become the first African country to ever reach the tournament's semi-final stage. Youssouf En-Nesyri's soaring 42nd-minute header proved the difference for coach Walid Regragui's side, whose resolute defensive display on Saturday capped a remarkable showing in Qatar, which has now seen them play more than 7 hours of football without conceding to an opposition player. Portugal, who had dominated the ball throughout, proved unable to unlock their rivals' backline, despite all their possession and the summoning of Cristiano Ronaldo from the bench shortly after half-time. And that's how Morocco wrote World Cup history. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a like on the video and feel free to subscribe to the channel.